And we're gonna begin in a comfortable seated position, just allowing your spine to stack upright and the shoulders to shrug down the back. Give yourself a moment to find a little place of ease. Begin to let go of all that has happened this morning or this week as you forget about the past. And in this moment, you can let go of any worries of the future. As you notice the sensations of the body, maybe that's any tightness or restrictions or any places that feel open and free. We begin to just create a little deeper of a connection, awareness, what's happening right now. And as you notice what's happening in the body and in the mind, remember, we're just here to observe. There's no good or bad as we let go of judgments. There's no right or wrong. And as you notice and observe, allow your attention to begin to move to the breath. Bringing awareness to the inhale and the exhale. Noticing if it's shallow or deep. Quick or slow. And said that yoga should balance stability, strength, and steadiness with gentleness and relaxation. As we find a little equilibrium on the mat today, allow yourself to keep coming back to an idea of joy. How can I find joy in my body in this moment, in this experience? Perhaps something comes to mind that helps you find that joy. Maybe it's a kind word or a piece of gratitude. Take a few more breaths here. Staying present in this moment. Right here. Right now. Let's inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, let the palms touch, bring them down to your energetic heart center. Chin bows in slightly. This symbol is Anjali Mudra, a symbol of offering. Perhaps you allow yourself to offer that intention to your practice now, that kind word, that gratitude. Maybe you just offer one big breath, so we'll all breathe together. Take a deep breath in. And we'll HA, sound it out through the mouth. We're going to inhale, reach the arms back up overhead. And we're going to exhale, bring the right hand down to the ground, and we'll stretch over with the left arm. Just a little side body stretch. You can even bend that right elbow, pull the left shoulder back so the heart stays lifting. Feel that left hip grounding, and we'll take a couple breaths here. So as you breathe in, maybe you begin to take some movement with the head or the neck. You might inhale, lift the gaze towards the sky. And exhale, bring the gaze down towards the mat. If there's one area that feels nice and juicy to stretch, maybe you hold it there for a moment. Just allow the breath to be full and complete. 2 more nice deep breaths. And last one. Bring that head back to a neutral position, and we'll inhale, lift the arms back up overhead, sit up nice and tall. And we'll go to the next side. So you'll bring your left hand down, reach over with the right. Pull that right shoulder back, heart lifts. Maybe you bend into that left elbow. Right hip is heavy. Soften here. Take a big breath in. And then perhaps you add some movement to the head and the neck, just allowing for a gentle opening of the neck, and opening up the muscles along the tops of the shoulders. Giving yourself this moment just to acknowledge all that you feel, all that has shown up with you. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more big breath, inhale, and exhale. Slowly bring the head back to a neutral position, and we'll inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, we're gonna fold over the legs. So bring the hands down in front of the shins. As you lean forward with the heart, this might be enough. If it's comfortable for you, maybe you begin to walk the hands out. The head might even come to the ground, or the belly might touch the legs. Just give yourself a moment to notice. Breathe into the hips and the thighs. As we just begin to gently wake the body. There's this principle in yoga called Sthira and Sukha. It comes from a yoga sutra, and it says Sthira Sukham Asanam. So this translates to steady and ease. They say asana should be stable and comfortable, and we should be able to abide in a good space. So we'll check in with ourselves today and notice what that means. A place that feels free but grounded. We'll take one more breath here. And we'll nice and slowly use the hands, walk the body back upright. All right, so you can keep your hands on the ground. We're gonna switch legs, or if you want a little extra challenge, you'll reach the arms up overhead. Palms face one another, shoulders slide down the back. Now you're gonna pull the navel in and let yourself rock back towards the tailbone, and we're gonna switch legs. So maybe you do that with both feet off the ground. And we'll sit up nice and tall again. Reach your arms up, and when you're ready, you'll exhale, bring the hands down, and we'll fold over this side of the legs. Notice if this side is different than the other, and give yourself that compassion it needs to take care of both sides of the body appropriately. So the word sthira comes from the root word stha, which means to stand, to be firm. So it talks about being steady in our asana, in our poses. The word sukha translates to good space, and it was originally used to describe the kind of chariot ride when the wheels and axles are centered and balanced. This word, a good space, it implies a dynamic process. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, we'll slowly begin to walk the hands back. Lift the arms up overhead, big inhale. Now we'll take a twist. So you're gonna exhale, bring your right hand behind you, left arm to the right thigh. Sit up nice and tall, feel length from the sit bones to the head. And nice and gently as we warm up the body, just begin to twist the heart towards the right. The gaze might turn slightly back over the shoulder, but remember, listen in as we're just warming up the spine. Take another big breath deep into the base of the rib cage here. On your next inhale, we'll unwind, bring the arms up again. And we'll exhale, twist to the left hand behind you, right onto the thigh. Nice and tall, length here through the spine with your inhale. And with your exhale, you'll twist. And as we open and as we work through our poses, you might notice that with each breath, you find a little more space. And that change, that movement in the body might be so small and so minute that you couldn't even see it if you look. And that's okay. It's about listening into that space that we're creating with the breath as we move gently into each shape. Take one more big breath here to the base of the rib cage. And we'll let it go. Inhale, unwind, come back to center, arms up. And we'll exhale, bring the hands back down to your heart. We're going to take a deep breath in through the nose. And HA, sound it out through the mouth. We're going to come into our hands and our knees. So tabletop position. And if you're already familiar with your cat and cow and you want to just go ahead and start doing your movement, feel free to connect that rhythm with breath. Otherwise, make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders, your hands are spread wide, pressing down through the whole palm and each fingertip. The feet go behind the knees and knees are hip width apart. On each of your inhales, you'll open the chest, lift the tailbone as the shoulders slide down the back. And with each exhale, you'll press the ground away, tucking the chin, tucking the tail, spreading wide through the shoulders. And you'll keep going like that. Inhale, lift the chest, slide the shoulders back. And exhale, round the chest, slide the shoulders apart. Inhale, the chin might even lift off the chest, gaze might even look a little up. And then exhale, as you round the spine, the chin will come to the chest. Inhale, lift the tailbone. Exhale, tuck. And we'll keep going. If there's any extra movements you might like to take here, maybe a little side to side stretch, maybe you want to hold a cat pose or a cow pose for an extra breath, feel free to do so. Once again, we're moving through today's practice as a way to stay mindful and grounded to our experience. So notice all that is arising and all that is present. Okay, we're going to take 2 more rounds. So if you're doing anything asymmetrical, this is a good time to balance it out. And then after your second exhale, we'll come back to a neutral spine. So really feel yourself grounded, the fingertips, the palms on the top of the feet. And we're going to begin to tuck the right toes and keep the toes on the mat and just stretch out the leg, press back through the heel. You'll feel a little stretch on the back line of the leg, perhaps. Maybe in the hip or the glute, maybe in the calf. Now you're going to look back and I want you to hug your left hip directly over the left knee so you're not swaying too far to the left. Pull the belly in as you firmly press the ground away. And you're going to begin to float that right foot up off the ground. So the toes are facing down and you're going to press firmly through the heel like you're trying to kick through the wall behind you. That's going to help your leg feel nice and light, or at least lighter. Pull the belly in. And you might notice now as this action is happening, your left hand can get light. Maybe you walk your left hand towards the top of the mat. And if you're working with playing with balance today, you can just begin to lift and lower the hand. Maybe you'd like to lift that hand up and feel a stretch from heel to fingertips, reaching in opposite directions, pulling that navel in, staying strong. We're in balancing table here. With this, you'll begin to take some rolls of the ankle and the wrist. It doesn't matter which way we'll go, we'll switch it in a moment. So working here in the body, cross-laterally like this, is a really great way to strengthen some of the neural connections in the brain. All right, so switch the direction of your twists. Notice your rolls of the wrists and ankles. Notice what that feels like to the mind, to the body. All right, one more breath here. Feel nice and long. Stretch it out. Inhale and exhale. Bring it down, tabletop. If you want to wiggle out that right wrist, you can, but know that we're gonna come off of it again in a moment. All right, so hands and knees. Tuck the left toes, toes stay on the mat. Just stretch out that left leg behind you. Give yourself a moment, feel into the openness of the leg. Make sure the heart is still reaching forward, shoulders are not shrugging up by the ears, and you're pulling that navel in so your core is nice and strong. It's like the low ribs even knit together. All right, so look down towards your right hip, hug that right hip over the knee. So you feel that right glute working. And from that inner left thigh, begin to lift the left foot off the mat. Pull that low belly back in. Sometimes we tend to sink into the belly like cow tilt here. You don't want to do that. You want to pull it in, nice long spine. Press back through that left heel. And then perhaps walk the right hand up towards the top of the mat. Maybe you stay with the fingers lifting and lowering. Maybe you reach the hand all the way off the mat. Feel length, fingers to heel. Take a deep breath in. And then we'll begin to take some rolls of the wrist and the ankle. Listening to the body, noticing what you might feel. And we'll switch it the other way. Just a couple more times, you got it. All right, big stretch, inhale and exhale, come back down, tabletop. Good job. We'll take the knees a little wider than the hips, big toes together, sit down, child's pose. So seat to heels. Hands will reach out in front of you as the head comes to the ground. Let the palms face up here. And you can give yourself a moment to maybe squeeze and release the palms. Maybe you give yourself a little roll of the wrist here just to let go of any tension from being on them. Take another big breath in and a breath out. All right, now press the hands back into the ground and walk the hands towards the top of the mat. So you're stretching those arms out nice and long. Press the palms into the floor, the fingertips into the floor, and feel length from the fingers to the tailbone. Take an inhale and exhale. Now you're gonna inhale, lift the body up into a tabletop position. Slide the heart forward so it's your shoulders come back over the wrists. You're in this little modified plank, hips in front of the knees. Pull the belly in, press the ground away. So stay here for a moment or exhale, bend the elbows, take a little push up. Inhale, straighten the elbows and exhale to child's pose. So there's a little sequence. You can move, just inhale up to plank. You can stay in plank. You can exhale to push up. And then send it back, seat to heels. So it goes inhale, modified plank. Exhale, bend the elbows if you want. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, child's. So you're gonna keep going in that sequence. You can just stay in child's pose if you prefer. You can keep going back and forth between plank and child's. Just a nice way to begin to open up those shoulders. Whether you wanna take the push-ups or not, your choice. We'll go 2 more times. Last one. So we'll all meet in our child's pose. Take a breath in and a breath out. All right, this time inhale, let's lift up to tabletop pose. We'll tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, and come into downward dog. So right away, take a few moments, pedal out the feet, wiggle out those hips, take any movement that feels good. You're in that upside down V position. You're spreading wide through the hands, pressing down through the whole palm, the webbing between the index finger and the thumb, and each fingertip. Your hips are lifting high as if someone has a silk strap tied around your waist and they're lifting you from that little crease of the hips and the thighs. Imagine those hips stretching high up to the sky. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. All right, inhale, lift the gaze towards the fingers, and we're gonna begin to walk the feet all the way up towards the top of the mat. Take as many steps as you need to. Once you're at the top, you'll lift up halfway. Bring your hands to the shins, head and heart forward. So it's kind of like that tabletop pose we were just in a moment ago. You're gonna press back through the inner thighs, tailbone sticks out behind you. Shoulders slide away from the ears and send the weight a little forward towards the balls of the feet. From here, imagine pulling the feet together. Pull the navel in. And as you find some strength happening in the legs, the core, where can you find a little softness and ease? Maybe that's around the neck, the shoulders, the jaw. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, begin to bend the knees, fold over the legs as much as you like. Try to let the head let go of any tension. You might hold on to the opposite arm. You might sway side to side. Shake the head yes or no for a ragdoll position. Remember, those knees can be as bent as you would like. Just letting gravity kind of do the work for you here. Imagining that any stress of the week, of the year can just begin to drip off of the body. It's like you're a little waterfall. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Take one more big breath, inhale, and exhale. We'll let the hands come back down, so release them if you're holding them. Now you're gonna keep those shoulders rolling forward, keep the chin tucked towards the chest, bend the knees. You're gonna pull the belly in, so engage the core as you press into the heels, and we're gonna roll up one vertebra at a time. So you'll feel the tail begin to tuck, and then each vertebra will stack one on top of the next, creating this nice space between each one. And then once you begin to stand, the shoulders will roll up, back, and down. The chin comes parallel to the ground, the palms face forward, and you're in mountain pose or Tadasana. Feel the weight once again spread evenly through the four corners of the feet. You might sway side to side or front to back to really feel the weight pressing into the earth. Once you come back to stillness, feel the four corners pressing down and imagine the four corners of the feet pulling towards one another to activate through those arches. Take an inhale. And then exhale, release that grip of the feet. And we'll do that 2 more times. Pull the four corners of the foot together and let it go. One more time, inhale and exhale. Now float all 10 toes up off the mat. Try to spread them nice and wide. See what that feels like in the soles of the feet. And then we'll try to lower each toe down one at a time, starting with the pinky, moving your way all the way to the big toe. They might all stick together, and that's okay too. Take another breath here. Moving into our half sun salutation, we'll inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, bend the knees, fold over the legs. Head is heavy. Inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins, head and heart forward. And exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way up to standing, long back this time as you rise. And exhale, the hands to the heart. One more time like that. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold. Half lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. And we'll stand up, reach up, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, so you're either gonna keep, I'm gonna turn to you so you can see, you're gonna keep your feet hip width apart, knees on top of ankles, and they're all in line with the hips. Or you can bring your feet together so the big toes touch and the thighs squeeze towards one another. So your choice, but not anywhere in between. You're gonna inhale, lift that heart towards those thumb knuckles. And then exhale, begin to bend the knees and sit low. So the weight sinks into your heels, like you're sitting back into a chair for Utkatasana, chair pose. Fierce pose. Give your toes a little wiggle, make sure they're not gripping onto the mat. Pull that belly up off the thighs. Lift the heart towards the thumbs, let the shoulders relax down away from the ears. So you can keep your hands here, especially if you're working with any shoulder injuries. If you would prefer, you can begin to reach the arms all the way up overhead, palms face one another, biceps towards the ears, shoulders away from the earlobes. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Notice what you're feeling here. Is there sensation? Is it like a vibration, a sparkly feeling? Is it fiery? So fierce pose has a name for a reason. So imagine that this sensation you're building, that you might feel in the glutes and the legs, is helping you create this ferocity within you. This ferocity to take charge, to begin to launch yourself into new endeavors, right? So take another deep breath in. How can you harness that energy for yourself now? Exhale. We're gonna press into the feet. Inhale, stand up, reach up. And we're gonna exhale, fold over the legs. So you're folding, leading with the heart. Nice job. Bend those knees as much as you need. Inhale, lift up halfway. We're gonna exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot back, lower the left knee. Untuck the toes. Lift up, so you're lifting the body over the hips. Arms might come overhead. They might stay on your thighs or your hips. So your right knee is over the ankle. You're sinking the hips towards that right front heel, but keep a sensation of pulling the right heel back, left knee forward. So there's lots of strength happening from the pelvic floor. Lift the heart high, take an inhale. Now exhale, bend the elbows so it's like a goalpost, shoulder blades tucked down the back, heart lifts. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame that right foot. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, and step back to top of a push-up plank pose. Remember, you can keep the knees down here for a modified version. Hips are in front of the knees, heart is forward. Take an inhale wherever you are, and exhale, hug the elbows in, lower to the belly. So, as an alternative option, cat and cow in a tabletop position is great here. Untuck the toes, slide the shoulders away from the ears, and we're gonna go into cobra. Inhale, lift the chest, pull that navel in, press down to the top of the feet. Exhale, lower. Let's do cobra 2 more times, Bhujangasana. Tailbone is reaching towards the heels as you lift. Imagine reaching the breastbone far out in front of you. And exhale, lower. Feel nice and light in the hands as you inhale, lift from the strength of the back. And exhale, lower. All right, tuck the toes. You can lift the knees or keep them lowered, and inhale, press up plank. And exhale, take your weight back to your downward dog. So you'll lift the hips nice and high. Find some steadiness here as you lift up from the inner thighs. Feel the heels dropping heavy towards the floor. Knees can be as bent as it feels good to those legs, to that back. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more inhale. And exhale. We're gonna inhale, lift the gaze, and begin to make our way to the top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Stand up, reach up, big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Step the feet together or keep them hip width apart. Inhale, and hands high. Exhale, chair, sink the hips nice and low. Remember, you can always bring your hands to your heart here. Sit nice and low, feel the belly pulling in. And this time, if you would like, you can begin to bring your hands back like wings, but let the palms face one another. So the pinkies are up towards the ceiling, thumbs are facing the body. Imagine you have a squishy ball, kind of like a beach ball here in between the hands, and you're putting pressure on it to try to squish the ball. So you're squishing the ball, and then you're gonna release it just a little bit, like you're gonna squish it and release. And we're gonna go for 7. Pulsing of the hands here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the arms overhead, big inhale. Exhale, fold over the legs. Half lift, inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, lower the right knee, untuck the toes. Low lunge, lift the body, lift the arms. Remember, pull those feet towards one another. You could feel the tailbone reaching towards the ground as you sink those hips towards the front left heel. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, bend the elbows, goalpost those arms as you look up, reach the breastbone up. Opening the front body, take another breath. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, hands down. So options, we're gonna step that left foot back to plank or tabletop, modified plank or knees lifted. Take a deep breath in wherever you are. And then exhale, we'll lower to the ground or take your cat and cows. So for Cobra, we're gonna hold it this time, press into the top of the feet, hug the elbows in, begin to float the chest off the ground. So stay lifting this time as you continue to breathe. Shoulders slide away from the ears, press down firmly through the top of the feet. You can feel your kneecaps even lifting off the ground. All right, so this is your Cobra, your Bhujangasana. This is an awesome place to use whenever you would like. Now, if your low back is agreeable and you'd like a little more action happening here, you can begin to press into the hands, straighten the elbows, lift the thighs off the mat for upward facing dog. Slide the shoulders away from the ears, heart reaches up. We'll take another breath here. Wherever you are, we'll begin to make our way to our downward facing dog. So in upward dog, you'll roll or step over the feet, lift your hips. In Cobra, you'll lower back down and gently press yourself up. We'll take a couple deep breaths here. Coming back to the idea of steadiness and ease. Maybe even recalling your intention. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Lift the gaze. Walk, step, or hop the feet to the top of the mat. We'll lift up halfway, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. And we'll stand up, reach up, big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. We're gonna move through two sun salutation A, to get the full movement, full warm up of the body. So take a breath here, find that steadiness in the feet, head high, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And exhale, fold, lead with the heart. Half lift, inhale, hands to shins. This time, plant your hands, step back to plank, modified plank, or tabletop. Take an inhale. And exhale, you can lower either half or all the way down, maybe halfway down for chaturanga or low plank. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. And then your exhale, you'll begin to make your way back to your downward facing dog. So know that any option is perfect for you here. Whatever sequence, whatever flow you want to take at that point is up to you. We'll hold it in down dog for one more breath. Inhale, lift the gaze to your hands, and we'll slowly begin to walk the feet up to meet them. Lift up halfway, hands to shins, head and heart forward. And exhale, fold, head is heavy. Sweep up, look up, big inhale, standing, lifting the arms. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time, inhale, arms reach. And exhale, we'll fold over those legs. Half lift, hands to shins, inhale. Exhale, step it back, plank pose, modified plank or table. Your choice, take an inhale. And exhale, lower half or all the way. Inhale, lift the chest, open the heart, up dog or cobra. And exhale, take your time, make your way back to your downward dog. No rush, as long as you're moving with your breath, you're moving with intention. And that intention is what begins to cultivate a strong body and a strong mind. We'll take one more breath. We'll lift the gaze and begin to make the way to the top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Stand up, reach up, big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Pause here, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Feel the weight of the feet grounded, stable, secure. And as you lift up from there, you get that sense of balance, the ability to find ease and freedom because you're rooted. Notice the rhythm of the heart and the rhythm of the breath. This is a good time to deepen that breath and try to slow it down. Finding a little bit more ease, and not just the body, but the nervous system as well. Okay, inhale, let's reach the arms high. Exhale, fold over the legs, lead with the heart. Half lift, hands to shins, inhale. Now on your exhale, you'll bend the knees, plant the hands, step the left foot back to the back of the mat. Your right knee is over the ankle. Rotate the left heel down so the toes face the left, and you're creating a heel to arch alignment with the right heel left arch. Now when you're ready, press into the feet, engage the belly. You're gonna inhale, lift the chest towards the left, arms out wide. So create enough space in between the legs that you feel you're allowing your hips to sink with that right knee over the ankle. And you really want to press the four corners of that left foot, especially the pinky toe side of the foot, down into the mat. Your hips might rotate a little towards a 45-degree angle as you spiral the left inner thigh back behind you. Now imagine here as you reach long with the legs, reach long with the arms, that you're spreading out into the universe. You can even imagine shooting these like laser beams of love and good energy out through the tips of the fingers. But as much as you're spreading wide here, imagine holding some of that for yourself, right? We fill our cup in order to fill others. Hug those shoulder blades back towards the spine. Pull those feet towards one another, turning those muscles on, keeping you strong, building that stamina. Take an inhale. Exhale. Let's flip the palms up towards the sky, bend the elbows, hug the elbows towards the waist. You create a W shape in the arms. Now this shape is gonna let you really tuck those shoulder blades, the scapula towards one another, creating strength in the middle back. Take another inhale here. And an exhale. Now inhale, reach the arms up and straighten the right leg. Nice. On your exhale, bend the knee, bend those elbows back towards the waist. 2 more times like that. Inhale, reach. Feel that power as you press down through the right foot. Exhale, bend, squeeze it in. 1 more time like that. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, bend. Hold it here in this W-shaped warrior 2. You're gonna take that left palm now, let it rest towards the left thigh. Reach your right arm all the way overhead for your reverse warrior, stretching out the right side body. Now, instead of resting on your left thigh, imagine the left thigh pressing into the left hand, and imagine dragging that right heel back towards the left foot. Take another inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift back up, warrior 2, arms out long. And then exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, straighten the right knee, parallel the feet. So the feet, all toes are facing the left, long edge of the mat. You're gonna pull the heels in, so the toes are at a 45-degree angle. Stand up nice and tall as if you're leaning or you're like resting against a wall. Now open up the shoulder blades, or open up the chest by hugging the shoulder blades together. Take an inhale. Now on your exhale, begin to bend the knees, slide down that imaginary wall as you sink the hips, squeezing the knees open towards the pinky toes of the foot. You can keep your hands on your hips here. You can inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead, palms face one another. So stay here for a moment, knit those low ribs in, pull the belly in, wiggle the toes so you're not gripping, finding a little bit of that balance between effort and ease. Take a big inhale, Big exhale. 2 more, you got it. 1 more, inhale fully, the base of the rib cage. Exhale, maybe you side out through the mouth. Inhale, straighten the legs, reach up. Exhale, bring the hands back to your hips. Parallel the feet. Right toes face forward. Bend that right knee so your body's in warrior 2. Inhale, reach the arms out long. Big breath. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame the front foot. Step back to go through your vinyasa. So what does that mean? You could step back to plank. You could step back to modified plank or tabletop. Maybe you want to skip it, take a child's pose or a down dog. You're going to move through your flow. So with your exhale, you'll lower to the body, half roll away. Inhale to open the chest, and exhale, make your way to your downward dog. So when you go through your vinyasa, you don't have to wait for my lead. You can always just move with your breath, move with your body. But if you're unsure, I will be happy to guide you through the process. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. 1 more inhale. And exhale. All right, inhale, lift the gaze towards the hands. Walk, step, or hop the feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Lift halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. Stand up, reach up, big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, arms up. Building some warmth in that body. Now exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. All right, this time we're gonna plant the hands. Right foot goes back. Right heel spirals down, toes face the right. Left heel intersects right arch. When you're ready to stand up, chest faces the right, arms out wide. So stay where you are. I'm just turning so I can see you. The knee bends over the left ankle and squeezes towards the pinky toe. Spreading wide through the legs, let those hips sink. And once again, find that connection to the spreading wide, to the hugging in. So notice what requires effort here. What requires the muscles to stay strong, to work. But where can you find a little bit of relaxation, of softness? One more inhale. Exhale. All right, flip the palms up, hug the elbows towards the waist, squeeze the scapula together. Now inhale, straighten the knee, reach the arms high. And exhale, bend the knee, squeeze the elbows together, or towards one another. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, warrior 2, W arms, stay here. Remember, pull those feet towards one another. Right hand towards right thigh. Left arm's gonna stretch overhead for your reverse warrior. Wow, what word was that? Keep bending that left knee, lift the heart high. Right thigh presses up into your right hand. Couple deep breaths here, you got it. One more. Inhale, lift the body up. Exhale, hands to hips. Straighten that knee. Let the toes face the long edge of the mat, so you're paralleling the feet. This time we're gonna take a wide leg fold. So imagine hugging the hands into the hips, like you could squeeze the hips together. Press into the 4 corners of the feet. Imagine pulling the feet together. Nice strong body already. You're gonna inhale, lift the heart a little towards the sky, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, fold from the hips, lead with the heart, and then you'll fold all the way down. This is a great place. If you grabbed that prop or that block, you can use it underneath your hands. Lift up halfway, feel the tail and the head reach in opposite directions. The weight is balanced between heels and toes. Take another inhale. And then exhale, fold. You can walk the hands back between the feet. Maybe you want to hold on to the outside edges of the legs, the ankles, or the feet. You're going to let the head be completely heavy here, just like we did earlier in class. Letting gravity do its work, but you're staying strong in those legs. So those feet are pulling towards one another, the balance is staying. right in the middle of the feet. Take a couple more breaths here. Try to relax the head and the neck and the jaw. Okay, well, nice and slowly lift up halfway. Hands underneath shoulders. Press into those feet, engage the belly. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, stand up. Exhale, your left toes forward. Bend that left knee, sink the hips. Inhale, arms out long. Take another breath here. All right, inhale. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down to frame the front foot. And this time you're gonna step the right foot to the top of the mat. Come into your halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Stand up, reach up, big inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. All right, so in your Tadasana, we're gonna take our tree pose. So if you're working on balance and you wanna move to a wall or something you wanna hold on to, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you're gonna let your weight shift into your left foot, hug that left hip in, and begin to lift the right knee in line with the hip. Stay active in that right foot. So either press through the ball of the foot or the heel. Keep the shoulders over the hips by engaging the belly. And we'll inhale, open the knee out to the right. And then exhale, bring that knee back to center. 2 more times, inhale and open, warming up that hip. Exhale, close. This time as you inhale, open it up, stay open. Let that right hip roll a little forward. And then bring your right foot down for tree pose. So that could be on your ankle, it could be on your calf, or you can use your hand, help it to your thigh. Wherever it is, right foot presses into left leg and left leg presses back into the right foot. Equal pressure. Equal pressures between the hands as well. Where can you feel that strength, that connection to the earth, and feel how that lifting, that energy pressing down can help lift the crown of the head high. If you'd like to reach your arms overhead, do so. Take a big inhale. Maybe you try, bring your hands down, shoulder height, exhale. Stay here, take an inhale. Maybe you turn your gaze over towards the left thumb, exhale. Really challenging that balance. Inhale, bring the gaze back to center. Exhale, hands to the heart. Release the right foot. Keep that knee open, inhale. Exhale, knee back to center. Exhale, lower the foot down. Ooh, maybe if you find stillness, you can really feel that sensation in that left foot. That's what we call the prana, that vital life force energy moving through us. If you want to wiggle it out, feel free to do so. We're going to move to the next side. So seal that right foot to the ground, press down, spread wide through those toes. As you hug that right hip in, inhale, begin to lift the left knee. Yep, pull the navel in. And we'll begin to inhale, open the knee out to the left. Let that left hip roll a little forward. And then bring the knee back to center, exhale. Inhale, open the knee. Exhale, close. This time as you open, hold it, and then take your tree pose. Feel free to let that foot come down to a different place than it was on the other side. That's perfect as we listen into what our body's asking for. Equal pressure between the leg and the foot and the hands. Imagine that equal pressure hugging into the midline allows you to lengthen and grow a little taller. Take an inhale and an exhale. Perhaps you'd like to lift the arms overhead. Big inhale. Soften the shoulders here. Let the low ribs relax. Take another inhale. Feel free to stay here or exhale. Open the arms out wide from your shoulders like a T. Inhale. Exhale, take your gaze over towards the right thumb. Perhaps inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Release the foot, knee is open, inhale. Bring it back to center. And exhale, release. Pedal it out or find a little stillness. Give yourself this moment to enjoy all that we're cultivating within us. You can maybe feel what's happening physically through the body. Maybe you even can become aware of the focus that you're developing, that resilience within us. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold, lead with the heart. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, step the left foot back. You can keep the knee lifted or you can lower it down. Wherever you are, keep the toes tucked, press back through that left heel. And when you're ready, inhale, you'll lift the chest up. So you're either in Anjaneyasana with the knee down or Alanasana with the knee up. Pulling up from the low belly, tailbone reaches down, and those low ribs pull in as the shoulders tuck towards one another. Let the palms face one another, and the pinkies even roll in slightly. Take an inhale here, and an exhale. One more. All right, so exhale wherever you are. We're gonna bend the elbows like a goal pose, lift the heart, tuck the shoulder blades together, and then inhale, reach the arms back up. Now, if your knee is lifted, perhaps you wanna add a little hover of the knee as you bend the elbows, bend the knee. And then inhale, lift and reach. Exhale, bend those elbows. Inhale, reach. 2 more times, a little dynamic movement. If your leg is lifted, really press back through that heel, press back through the thigh upon lifting. Last one. And then exhale, we'll all lower the knees down. Bring those elbows in line with the shoulders, palms up, take another breath. Exhale, bring the hands down to the ground, half splits. By walking the hands back, you can untuck the left toes here. So your right hip is stacked over, or your left hip is stacked over the left knee, and you can let the right toes float up off the ground. Your props here are awesome. If you do have those blocks nearby, you can grab them so you can really feel that length from the tailbone to the breastbone. If you feel nice and this is juicy, stay here. If you would like, you can begin to fold over the leg, maybe rounding the shoulders, bringing the chin towards the chest. I like to stay lifted in this one. Imagine dragging that right heel back as the breastbone still stretches forward. Couple deep breaths. Notice if any tension is reaching up towards the jaw, clenching of the teeth, or in the neck. One more inhale. And exhale. All right, we're gonna slowly begin to bend that right knee, send it forward. Plant the hands, tuck the left toes, lift the left knee. And we're gonna step to the top of the mat into mountain pose or one leg mountain pose with the left knee high. So you're either just gonna step forward or you're gonna come all the way up, lifting that left knee. So your choice to play with the balance or just step on up to your Tadasana and then perhaps lift the left knee. I know, big ask there. Hug those hips together, pull the belly and reach the arms high. Now stay active in that left foot, stay here. Or bring your right hand to the outside of the left leg. And then reach that left arm all the way behind you, opening the chest to the left. Now, for any reason you would like, you could place that left hand on your left hip instead. Take a deep breath in. If it's in your practice and you want to reach down for the outside of that left foot and begin to straighten the left leg, that's always an option here as well. Take a couple more breaths. If you fall out of it, remember that is okay. You can just come back in. All right, we're gonna slowly unwind the body, bring the hands to the heart, facing forward, and we'll lower the foot down. Whew. All right, deep breath in. Let it out. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, fold. Half lift on the inhale. Exhale, right foot back. Lower the right knee or keep it lifted, your choice. When you're ready, we're gonna inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms. So remember, Anjaneyasana, knee down or knee up. If your knee is up, really press back through the inner thigh, press back through the heel, keep pulling the belly in so the tail is reaching down wherever you are. Take another inhale. On your exhale, bend the elbows, cactus branch those arms, keep the low ribs pulling in, and then inhale, lift the arms up. Now maybe you want to add the knee, exhale, lower the knee, and inhale, lift. Exhale, bend and lower. Inhale, lift. 2 more times, wherever you are, whatever variation you're doing, you could skip the movement altogether, and that is perfect. Last one, we'll bring it down to the ground. Lower the hands to the ground. Half split, untuck the right toes. Bring the right hip over the right knee as you let the lift toes come off the mat. Grab your props. You want to feel length here in the back. So you could bend that left knee as much as you need to stick the tailbone out behind you, reach the breastbone forward. Remember, shoulders want to stay away from the ears and fold as much as you would like. Nice job, everybody. You can create a little more sensation by imagine pulling that left heel back and really keeping that right hip hugged over the right knee. Check in on your toes. Are the big toe and the pinky toe coming back at the same rate? Are they up towards the sky, or are they kind of leaning in one direction? Little nuances of the body like that can really help us become more aware of what's happening, where we're carrying tightness or imbalances in the body. Okay, one more breath here. All right, we're gonna begin to send it back forward. Place the hands down. Tuck the right toes, lift the right knee. Remember, you could step up into your one-leg mountain or make your way to the top of the mat, however you choose. Right knee lifts this time, arms overhead. All right, so remember, if you just step up and you want to lift up halfway first, roll up, however feels good. We'll all lift our right knee up, hug those hips together, stay active in that right foot, and we'll take the left hand to the outside of the right leg. Squeeze those thighs towards one another as you twist the heart towards the right arm goes behind you or to the hip. And remember, when we fall out, the pose isn't about whether we stay in it or not, right? It's about letting those times that we do fall out, that we do stumble, just to be part of the process, be part of the journey. And how can we let those moments disturb us less? If you are reaching down for that right foot, straightening that right leg, keep letting that right hip sink a little so the hips are in line with each other. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. All right, one more breath here. We got it, guys. Okay, wherever you are, we're going to begin to twist back to center, hands to the heart, and we'll lower the foot down. Woo-wee. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. We're going to take the feet as wide as the mat. So you can use your prop here underneath your hands. So walk back if you need to get your block. Feet are nice and wide. Toes are at a 45-degree angle. And we're going to begin to sink the hips. So if your heels lift, know that that's okay. You can roll up your mat or place a blanket or your sweatshirt underneath them. You can use your block underneath your hands or underneath the sit bones. We're going to come to our yogi squat. So I'll turn so you can see a little better. So you're sitting on either your block with your hands at your heart, or you can just let your hips sink with no block. And if you're working with any knee or hip injuries, you can let your forearms just rest on the thighs, finding length from tail to head. And just give yourself a moment to feel this opening of the hips, opening of the heart. Where can you find a little bit of ease? And begin to take some deep breaths into the base of the rib cage. Feel that rib cage expanding side to side. Relaxing around the neck and the jaw. 2 more breaths. All right, we're gonna nice and slowly release the hands behind us. If you're on a block, you're gonna lift up and you're gonna sit onto your bottom. If there's a better way you'd like to get down, feel free by all means. And we're gonna sit up nice and tall with the feet in front of us, knees bent. It'll help you to lengthen the spine by either holding onto your thighs or reaching the arms out in front of you. If you're reaching the arms out, let the palms face up a little bit, soft bend in the elbows to tuck those shoulder blades really down the back, knit those low ribs in. All right, we're gonna hang out here. Perhaps you wanna play with lifting one or both feet off the mat. Heart is lifting, belly pulls in. Maybe you just wanna keep the feet on the ground. You can lift the heels, let those toes stay down. Take a few deep breaths here, building up that core. How can you relax a little more in the neck and the jaw? One more inhale. And we're gonna exhale, lower the feet down if you lifted them. Inhale, lift the heart. Hands can stay reaching out or on your thighs. We're gonna pull the chin towards the chest. Imagine there's a string tied to the navel and someone is behind you pulling the navel first. So your belly rounds, your back rounds, your shoulders round a little forward. Hold it here, take an inhale. Now on your exhale, we'll begin to roll down one vertebra at a time, either hands out or they slide down the thigh as you lower. Good job. All right. Woo, we made it to the ground. Step the feet a little closer to the bottom. So the heels are closer to the seat, but they're underneath the knees. So you're hip width apart still. Let the hands, palms down onto the ground by the hips, tuck the shoulder blades underneath you. And you're gonna press into the four corners of the feet and inhale, begin to lift the hips off the ground for bridge. Now, once you're in bridge, your hips are lifted. It can be just a little lift. It doesn't have to be really high. You're reaching the tailbone towards the knees. So you can feel that low back lengthen. And you're gonna let the belly soften. Keep pressing down into the backs of the shoulder blades and even the upper arms so that you can really lift and spread wide through the chest. Make sure there's some space between the chin and the chest. You're not scrunching up the neck here, but your gaze is up towards the ceiling. Couple deep breaths. For a little extra sensation, imagine dragging those heels back towards the head. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And we'll slowly begin to roll it down one vertebra at a time. Feet go as wide as the mat, knees rest on one another. Let's take 2 breaths here, just noticing the sensations that arise. All right, bring those feet back underneath the hips. We're gonna lift the right foot up to the sky. Point and flex the foot, so you're pumping the ankle. And then you're gonna flex the foot, bend the knee, cross the ankle over the left thigh. Use the right hand, press it into the right thigh. You could stay here or take figure 4, which is bringing the legs closer to the body, holding on to the left thigh. So you might thread that right hand in between that right and left thigh to hold on. You can pull those legs as close to your belly as it feels good. But if you are someone who has a little more flexibility in the hips and the thighs, I recommend imagine reaching that tailbone out towards the front of the mat, keeping that gentle arch of the spine off of the mat. So your sacrum is resting here fully. And if you're nice and flexible, you can always use that right hand to press the right leg open as you pull the left thigh back with the left hand. That'll really create some more sensation on that outside of that right thigh and hip. But if you feel it in any of the other positions you were just in, feel free to hold it however feels good. Let's take a couple more breaths here. Okay, we'll slowly begin to lower the left foot down. Inhale, reach the right foot back up to the sky, and then hug the right knee into your chest. Breathe deep into the belly. Imagine the belly can reach up towards the thigh, or maybe you don't have to imagine. And let it go. Lower the right foot down, and we'll go to the left side. Inhale, left foot up. Pump the ankle a few times. So not only is this great for our circulation, but it's also a sciatic nerve floss. So you're actually nice and gently releasing any tension in the low back. All right, now keep the foot flexed, bend the knee, cross the ankle over the right thigh. Use your left hand. You could press into the left thigh. If this feels great, you could stay here. Or you can begin to lift the right foot off the ground, take the hands behind the right thigh. And remember, find the variation that feels good. So maybe you're just letting the thighs come towards you, the low back presses into the mat. Or maybe you imagine stretching the tailbone out, letting the sacrum rest down onto the mat, low back lifts. Notice where you are. Sometimes we tend to lean a little more to our flexible or more flexible side. So make sure you're not leaning too far to the right or to the left. Stay nice and balanced between the hips. Take a few deep breaths wherever you are. Try to relax any excess tension, any parts of the body you don't need to move, don't need to work. Okay, we'll slowly begin to lower the right foot back down. Lift the left foot to the sky and pull the left knee into the chest. Give it a good squeeze here. Once again, breathing deep into the belly begins to calm the nervous system down. Okay, now you're going to pull that right knee back into the chest as well. So both knees pull in, give them a good squeeze, another deep breath into the belly. Pulling the knees into the chest one at a time and then both together is a nice thing to do if you're having digestive issues or tummy troubles. Something to keep in mind, sending that breath down into the belly. We're going to open the arms out like a T or a cactus, and we're going to take a twist. So you can take both knees to the right, stacked side by side. If you would like a little more sensation, you could cross the left thigh on top of the right, and then take twisted root to the right. So that right leg comes down with that left one wrapped around it. And if you take that version and decide you hate it, you can just unwrap it, keep those knees stacked together. Now your arms can be bent like a cactus or out long like a T, and you could take your gaze in either direction, whichever one feels better to the neck. Traditionally, the gaze is out to the left here, but I know I enjoy a little more stretch on that left side neck if I look to the right. You can see what works for you here, and give yourself a moment to rest into it. Let that left shoulder heavy as the hips begin to soften and unwind. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Inhale, lift the gaze back to center. Engage the belly, unwind the legs if they're wound. Lift the left knee, then the right. Place your feet down, make sure the hips, shoulders are in one line. Let those legs come back to the chest. Knees are going to go to the left now. Maybe the right leg crosses over the left, and you're going to lower the legs to the left. Once again, arms can be bent like a cactus or a T, and your gaze can go in either direction. Give yourself a couple moments. Keep unwinding, keep letting go. Full deep breaths. Nice and slowly unwind the legs. We'll inhale, bring them back up to center. If you have any final moves that you must have before you end your class or to make it feel just a little more yours, please by all means do that. Maybe that's a happy baby or legs up the wall or whatever you like to do, maybe another twist, just something nice and gentle. If you would prefer to take your Shavasana while gently stretching, you can feel free to do so. I do encourage you to make your way to a final rest and give yourself just 2 minutes to Let the nervous system fully unwind and fully relax to find a little more harmony to the body and the mind. Once you're in your Shavasana, you'll let the whole body just let go. Imagine that gravity is like a weighted blanket and the ground is like a big pillow that just hugs you here as you rest. You're in this place of complete ease now. Even the mind can begin to rest. When you finish resting, I will read you a small poem from Morgan Harper Nichols in her book, All Along You Are Blooming. Take heart, do not be afraid. The future may be uncertain, but there is no need to hide away. Every day is an opportunity to courageously show up, even when you do not feel equipped or that you will not be enough. Let grace surprise you, setting fire to your bones, strengthening your mind in the wild of your unknowns. We'll allow the breath to begin to deepen, bringing awareness back to the body and mind. Invite movement by wiggling your fingers and toes, and taking a big stretch, reaching the arms overhead and the feet out in front. Make your way to one side so you can gently press yourself up to a seat. Stacking the spine, we'll bring our hands either to the thighs, the lap, or the heart center in Anjali Mudra, a symbol of offering. Allow yourself to offer a kind word or some gratitude for the rest of the day or the week. May we all use the strength that we cultivated today to continue to courageously show up for ourselves and for others. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. HA, sound it out. And we bow together. Namaste.